Hello, beautiful people. I'm Annette C. So I was actually this morning as I was reading my word, I was reading the story of Joseph, and it was talking about when his brothers sold him into slavery because they were jealous of him or whatever. And as I'm reading in the Bible, and it says, like, in some of the verses, and I'm gonna put in the description the verses, the scripture that I'm referencing in Genesis, where it keeps on reiterating that Joseph was favored by God. And no matter what circumstances or situation he was in, they would always know that he was favored by God. Like when he was sold into slavery and he ended up with Pharaoh's, his, what was it called? His soldier, like the head of his soldiers, Pharaoh. He ended up with him. The guy, it says, like in the Bible, the guy knew that Joseph was favored by God, and so he knew that he was favored by God. So he put him in charge of everyone, even as, as a prisoner, even as a slave. Like he put him in charge because he knew, he saw the favor of God in him. And then when that situation happened with the guy's wife accusing Joseph of trying to rape her, he ended up being put in jail. And even in jail, it says that the guy who like ran the jail, the officer, he saw the favor on Joseph's life, the favor of God on Joseph's life. So he again put him in charge of everyone in there. He knew that he can trust him. And, everything was running smoothly. He didn't have to worry about anything. And that just allowed me to see that no matter your circumstances, no matter where you are, no matter how bad you think things get, people can see the favor of God in you. Like Joseph was in jail, he was a prisoner, he was a slave, and they still saw the favor of God in him, and they still put him in charge. They still put him in leadership, even though whatever the situation was, they knew that there was God's favor was on this guy. And so it just got me to realize that no matter what circumstances happen in my life, in your life, you could be at the lowest of low. I remember years ago, when I had lost everything. Like I literally lost everything. I was living in a 3 bedroom, 2 bath apartment. And, I ended up not re-signing the lease, and I was wanting to move into another apartment, and I ended up getting declined in every apartment that I wanted to move into. And I ended up not having a place to go. I had no place to go. I ended up sleeping on my sister's couch, and I was so embarrassed. Like I was months prior to that, I had a 3 bedroom, 2 bath. I was living good. I was, making good money and all of this other stuff. And then from that, I went to sleeping on my sister's couch, not being able to find a place to live, struggling with my money. I had just got scammed, so I had lost thousands of dollars from someone that I trusted. So it just felt like I just kept on taking loss after loss, and I felt so low. But it was in that time that I realized, and just thinking about it now, it was in those hard times and those low times that I started to get close to the Lord. I had nobody else to turn to. I had nowhere else to go. And that is when I started to get closer to him. I started to really lean on him and rely on him to get me through. There were times where I just was like crying. I was embarrassed. Like, I just was like, I didn't know what to do or where to go. And I remember during that time, I was just praying to the Lord, like, Lord, please work on the fruit of the Spirit within me. And I remember telling people, like, I feel like I'm in boot camp. Like, I just felt like during that period, that season, that God was just putting me through situations and circumstances to where he was building up the fruit of the Spirit within me. And just to piggyback, reiterate on the story of Joseph, I just feel like even with him being in jail and even with him being a slave, there was still the favor of the Lord on him. So that means that God was still with him. And it reiterates that in scripture. It says it over and over that the Lord was still with him. So even though the circumstances was not ideal to you or to me, the Lord was still with him. The Lord was still favoring him to where he went through all of that stuff to end up being a leader, to where he was able to help his brothers and help the people. So, I just wanted to just say that, just to encourage whoever is going through a hardship right now. Like, yeah, you are in a low, you might be in a low place, you might be losing, but the favor of the Lord is still with you no matter what, whether you're in the valley or the mountaintop. The God's favor does not go anywhere. And the thing about it is that people know this and they see this and they will honor the favor of God. They will honor the favor of God in your life. So I just want to encourage you that trouble does not last always. You will go through stuff, and in that time, it is to have you lean on the Lord, trust in him. Just like I said, when I was going through my season and I felt like I was losing everything and I was at my lowest, I was able to work on my relationship with the Lord. I think I got closer to the Lord, and I wouldn't be surprised if all of those things happened to push me closer to him. I needed a wake-up call. I needed to know that this is everything that I have and everything that I am is because of him. It's not because of my own doing. I didn't do it myself. I didn't work hard and get everything. No, it was because of him. And I just needed that reminder to know, like, I'm not nothing and no one without the Lord. And during that time, I had no one and nothing to lean on but the Lord. I had to trust in him. I had to lean on him. I had to go to him. And it was in that my relationship grew stronger. My faith grew stronger. My patience grew stronger. My love grew stronger. And that is what kickstarted my relationship with the Lord and everything, and helped me to be who I am today. So I just wanted to encourage you that no matter what you're going through, the favor of the Lord is with you, whether you're doing great or you're not, whether you're on the mountaintop or the valley low. Like, the favor of the Lord is still with you. So be encouraged. And if you are having a hard time, go to the Lord. Allow him to be your strength. Allow him to give you what you need, because he will always be there no matter what. Take care.